Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Vonjema, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat Cape gradually, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. To spoon.
Sorry, listener, this interview has been disrupted. This interview has been disrupted. There's a huge, as you can see, the minister is sitting there fishing. This broadcast has been disrupted.
The very senators, the very senators of state attacking you. That was the case for
So that's how it is here. That's how the minister is being. The minister of security. The minister of security. The minister of security feel that this area is unsafe. This is how you look like. This is how you look like. Those of you following Trust TV is chaotic. The way people feel that was expected to be. The chief of office staff.
I was serious. Calm down. Calm down. Minister, calm down. Calm down. I'm here at the phone for him. You were here. You want to not because but for you, I said for you, I agree the come you not come for your coming. So if you can't say, you understand me? You don't know why I mean that I would have come here. You don't know, okay? Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. You want to you were here. I said go Say you don't know. Say you don't know. Oh my God. You insulting. You got a box right.
You know I'm older than you. You Reggie?
Liking or writing?
Ranking.
Latin.
You forget it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He's in junior right now.
I have been the conduit for your coming. So if you were trying to say, you understand me? You don't know why I mean that I'm not coming. If I know, Kai, don't do that. Don't do that, Kai, don't do that. You want to you were here. Say you don't know. Say you don't know.
This, sorry, listener, this interview has been disrupted. This interview has been disrupted. There's a huge, as you can see, the minister is seeking refuge. This broadcast has been disrupted.
Getting too much. In my media, what I want to tell you, it's getting too much. Getting too much. The very senators, the very senators of secret attacking you. That's what they get for you. No. To your core. So you can't say
So that's
description. It didn't work. So I chose on 13th Street. We were zoomed away from there by some of our security forces. Until this morning, you will realize that around 12:01, when it occurred, I have just entered and parked the car by 11 something from my compound, and I thought to come home to rest. There's my second residence. And that was how it happened. And the individual that did it was seen from a distance by neighbors. As soon as he came and hit here and there, he took a way out this way. I took a risk, in fact, because I wanted to see whether we could tell the person. Description, it didn't work. So I chose to stay within the vicinity until day can break, to call on government through the national police, and they came and did their work. And now that I'm calling you to talk to the world, informing them officially of this audio. To be very frank, people are saying that, from all indication, you can point at a particular direction. We spoke as a leadership of the caucus. If two caucus members were distant themselves from the press conference, misleading the public that they are not aware, and at the same time saying to the county, go and celebrate. On 13th Street, we were zoomed away from there by some of our security forces. Until this morning, you will realize that around 12:01, when it occurred, I have just entered and parked the car by 11 something from my compound, and I thought to come home to rest. There's my second residence. And that was how it happened. And the individual that did it was seen from a distance by neighbors. As soon as he came and hit here and there, he took a way out this way. I took a risk, in fact, because I wanted to see whether we could tell the person. Description, it didn't work. So I chose to stay within the vicinity until day can break, to call on government through the national police, and they came and did their work. And now that I'm calling you to talk to the world, informing them officially of this audit. To be very frank, people are saying that, from all indication, you can point at a particular direction. We spoke as a leadership of the caucus. If 2 caucus members will distance themselves from the press conference, misleading the public that they are not aware. And at the same time, saying to the county, go and celebrate. On 13th Street. We were zoomed away from there by some of our security forces. Until this morning, you will realize that around 12:01, when it occurred, I have just entered and parked the car by 11 something from my compound, and I thought to come home to rest. This is my second residence. And that was how it happened. And the individual that did it was seen from a distance by neighbors. As soon as he came and hit here and there, he took a way out this way. I took a risk, in fact, because I wanted to see what I could tell the person.
See the people there in there. See now.
Look at the people that I want to control my people. Y'all see Jeremiah Kunson here. They want I can double his rings.
This, sorry, listener, this interview has been disrupted. This interview has been disrupted. There's a huge, as you can see, the minister is seeking refuge. This broadcast has been disrupted.
Our minister, you're getting too much. My media is going to tell you that you're getting too much. Too much. The very senators, the very senators of secret attacking you. That's what they're there for.
So that's how it is here. That's how the minister is being, the minister of security the Minister of Security, said that this area is unsafe. This is how you look like. This is how you look like. Those of you following Trust TV is chaotic. The way political field that was expected to be the chief of office staff.
I will say this. I'm going to help you. Calm down. Calm down. Minister, calm down. Justice, calm down. Calm down. From here at the phone for him, the minister. You were here. You don't know what happened. Not because I know but you, I said for you, I have been the country. I have been the country. You're not coming for your coming. I said so. You, I have been the country. I have been the country. You're not coming for your coming. So if you can't say, you understand me? You don't know why being that out of coming. You don't know, Kai. Don't do that. Don't do that, Kai. Don't do that. You want to you were here. I said, say you don't know. Say you don't know. You insulted. Oh my God. You insulted. You got a box right. You know I'm ready.
On 13th Street. We were zoomed away from there by some of our security forces. Until this morning, you will realize that around 12:01, when it occurred, I have just entered and parked the car by 11 something from my compound, and I thought to come home to rest. There's my second residence. And that was how it happened. And the individual that did it was seen from a distance by neighbors. As soon as he came and hit here and there, he took a way out this way. I took a risk, in fact, because I wanted to see whether we could tell the person description. It didn't work. So I chose to stay within the vicinity until day can break, to call on government through the national police, and they came and did their work. And now that I'm calling you to talk to the world, informing them officially of this audio. To be very frank, people are saying that, from all indication, you can point at a particular direction. We spoke as a leadership of the caucus. If two caucus members were distant themselves from the press conference, misleading the public that they are not aware. And at the same time, saying to the county, go and celebrate.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEO, Stan Tungman with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon.
Indeed, tune to spoon to be part of our conversation. Tune to spoon to have your say in the national discourse. Tune to spoon to know exactly what's happening across Liberia. What are they saying at the ministries and agencies? What are the happenings across the length and breadth of the country? Of course, tune to spoon to share your thoughts on those trending national issues. I'd like to say welcome again to another edition of the program, the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. We're here again live on Spoon 107.5 FM. We are live on 101.1 FM Fabric. We are live on Super 95.5 FM and a host of other radio stations across the country. It's a great thing to be here again on this 6th day of December 2023. 3. And I know some people somewhere in other parts of the world are saying, "Oh, this is not December 6th. This is December 5." But that's the difference in the time zone. All right, here in Liberia it's 1:27 a.m. So we're already in the next day. We're already in December 6th. I'd like to say welcome to the show. My name is Nelson Colette, and we have a fascinating conversation coming up here for you tonight. Just get ready. We ask you to kindly share the program as you come on. And yeah, so we have a great show going on. Let me go across and bring the guys in. I see Jelau, Cindy is already here seated. Let me bring Cindy on. Cindy, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on.
Mr. Nelson Colette, good evening.
Good evening. It's good to have you.
Good morning to you, my man.
Yeah, but if you tell me good evening, I will still accept because you're dealing with your time zone.
That's true. 6:27 p.m. You already in the next day.
Wow, it's early, so early at your end.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me here it's 1:28 a.m.
Mhm.
So let me bring Francis on. Francis, hello. It's good to have you.
Good morning, good evening.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. It's good to
Don't
be
speak for
here
me,
again.
speak for yourself.
Good to see you
Okay.
too. Why, you
So
not good?
I'm good. Okay, so I'm good. I'm good. You
What's
know,
going on in New Mexico?
My man, New Mexico is good.
let
All is well.
me, let me bring Prince on. The person who said, okay. Prince, welcome to the show.
Mr. Colette, what's up? How you doing today, my man?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Yeah.
And it's good to have you.
I like your blazer, my man.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Thank
Nelson
you.
Nelson didn't want the election and man, you better dress you up.
Look at you.
Yeah, Nelson didn't want the election.
Hey, interestingly,
Doesn't get killed, Blade.
uh,
Yeah.
you no, don't say Liberia won the election. Liberia won the election.
I mean, but yeah, we understand now. We understand.
Yeah, Liberia won. I had attend a program today. I came back and yeah, so but yeah, we here. But let me say it's gonna be a great show tonight, and we are hopeful of moving on with some very interesting aspect of the show tonight. But I'd like us to just kickstart the show with what's on our minds. Since in fact we're just few here, and then we can go around maybe 2 minutes or less and just talk about those issues on our minds before yeah. So we can start with you, Cindy, and then we make the rounds after Cindy, Francis, and Mr. Wei.
Yeah. So Nelson, good evening again to all of you. One of the things that on my mind is, the video Nelson has been playing, the very sad news coming out of Grand Jida. Last night while on this show, I did make an announcement, or where I did inform the public that the Honorable Representative Iran Madison Guern passed. Today we have been receiving the disturbing news videos coming from Grand Jida where someone has died that is believed to hang himself. Properties has been damaged. The house, I believe, houses of Senator Zoe Manuel Peno has been damaged. There are riots going on in the county, mainly in the city of Zredrup. And that has just, breaking a lot of us today. So to the family, followers, supporters, friends of the late Representative Iran Madison Guern, I extend my condolences. I will want to add to the many voices that have already spoken to this issue. Immediately, this is going out to my fellow young men and women out of Grangida, that let us allow medical reports to come in. Let us mourn an honorable representative, and let us avoid further destruction of properties. What happened in Grangida today has been based on accusations that certain individuals have direct link to the death of the representative through what we would call witchcraft, or African sign, as they like to call it. While those things are true, they are very hard to determine at times. And so let us all be mindful of actions that may lead to further destructions of people, properties, and life. It is important that at this point we remain calm. We mourn Mr. Honorable Guern, and allow space for the family to deal with this, issue. It's a tough time. But it's just saddening to see what is happening out there. I know Grangidians are good people. We are good people. We have a beautiful county. We are good people. We are receptive people. People know us for good things: education, leadership. But we should not be known for violence. And this is not just to Grangida alone. You find these kind of things happening all across Liberia. Usually people run to violence and think that will bring some resolution, some solution. Violence cannot lead to any solution, any better solution. Let us all learn how to coexist. I heard the honorable man has been sick for a while. He was taken to India, and he actually passed away in Ghana. And now we are resorting to burning people's properties. We are taking politics too far. So that's just on my mind. I know we will get into a lot of we may get into this again tonight. I see some videos coming out, Nelson. So I'm going to stop there for now. But it has been disturbing. It has just taken over my entire day.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Yeah, and that's one of the issues, the training issues here today. Usually, in fact, sometimes the training issues are not the favorable one. They are not the things that we want to hear, but unfortunately, we have to hear them, and we have to talk about them. Let me bring in Moba Zoka. It's good to have Moba joining us tonight. Moba, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the show.
The Paramount Chief.
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you, man. I've been like, I've been sick for the past time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We said leave that turkey alone. You said no.
So a lot of people reach out.
Whatever. Don't talk too much, because the manager penalty.
That man did it. Hey, you the turkey.
The man I got nothing, man. You and your partner, the host. The man with a sponsor on picture on. We put a picture on, I know happy. That long time. I mean, I got no picture.
I will show you the thing that made Moba sick. He shared a video with me just before he fell ill. Just before falling ill. I will share that video before the show comes to an end. But it's good to have Moba joining us tonight. It's been over a week since he fell ill, and he's been down. And it's just a good thing that we have you back tonight, Moba, and welcome again to the show.
Thank you, Nelson, and I appreciate everyone who reached out to me. I want to say thank you. My brother Cindy, I can say everybody, thank you, man. I appreciate that so much.
May I heard say the
That's why the brother who I for. Yeah, I tell Almighty God thank you. I had to take my medication as well. Much people were praying, but at the same time, I was taking my medication.
And the other medication too. The other one.
Yeah, thank God.
Anyway, we put him in the situation, man.
Now,
I'll leave it there.
No, put me in situation I can't handle.
I know.
But it's good to be back, guys. Yeah, good to be back.
Okay. So yeah, thanks a lot again. You want to talk about what's on your mind since we're just doing it, and then right after you can go to
who, me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on right now in the country, more especially the representative that passed out. I want to send my condolences to the people of from Maryland, right? Asano.
Yeah.
Great Gila, okay. The people of Great Gila, my condolences, and more especially to his family and Liberia as large. Well, nothing much on my mind today, but I can just come out by saying to the Liberian people, the police got to do their job, as much JMB already he is the president-elect. His regime, there will be no selective. We can tell Liberian people for sure, and we make sure every crime that occur in our country will be investigated according to the law, and people who will be guilty will face the law or the penalty. But in saying that, recently there are a lot of stuff going on, more especially when it comes to our brother who passed out, who according to what we heard, but as far as I'm concerned, there's no doctor report yet. All we're seeing is not something like people it keep out, people keep saying out there it's not legit. It's not from JFK. It's not from certain people. Like certain people came out with that title report talking about the brain, all that stuff. But end of the day, we pray that there will be a thorough investigation. It shouldn't be like a witch hunt because the president support there. We should involve politics in it. Let the justice take a course and let the investigation go on. And I can see my other brother from the other side, the CDC, Jefferson Tamakoji and Askawa Gray trying to, come out threatening the peace of our country. And we can tell them for sure, JMB government is not government that we just sit and watch people come and destabilize our country with no sound substance, with nothing sufficient to bring to the table. But you just come in and try to destabilize the country, try to make people uncomfortable. We will not condone that. JMB government will not condone that. We will make sure the law will be the law. Nobody will not just get on the street. You say because you not eat today, you get on the street and you start misbehaving. They say where your rest start or where your rest end or where another person rest begin. So you got to be vigilant how you do your stuff. You can just come on the street and you're making all kind of sarcastic remark on radio or making a press conference saying some things that is not conducive for our country, threatening the peace. And we're not sit and watch you do that. Jefferson Koji and Askawa Gray, you already done. You guys just got to go sit and rebrand your party and come back. Y'all shouldn't come and threaten our people. Y'all are there. Y'all not bring up what y'all today we're talking about. And today what we're hearing, a lot of y'all refusing to declare your assets, and more especially what happened, like the corruption and other stuff. You guys got to work according to the law. We're not doing witch hunt, but we are working according to the law. As a summit, I want to tell Liberian people thank you.
Thanks a lot, Moba. Let's hear from you, Francis. Francis, are you here?
I was muted. Sorry. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. The lawlessness in Liberia is just out of this world. It's out of control. People
But I don't blame the ordinary people too. I blame them for the crime. Those are committing the crime of burning the man's house or burglarizing his home. I blame them for that. But one thing we always overlook is they say prevention is better than cure. If we have a system put in place or security in place, a lot of these things that happen will not happen. Liberian people will not brave. We're scary. We can follow rule by the moment we are whipped into shit. We will follow the straight and narrow. But the whole country, I can tell you, outside of Montserrat, that's why Montserrat, one of the smallest counties in Liberia, has the highest population up to right now. Nimba County is probably 3 times bigger than Montserrat, probably 2 times bigger than Montserrat. But Montserrat has the highest population in the country. Why do you think that is? Because it's, quote unquote, maybe the safest place where you can turn around and see police. But who want to live in other counties where anybody can just come and burglarize your home, rob you, and you call the police, they will not show up because they're not even there. You see, so that's the problem. And not even talking about Akara Greda going on. Akara Greda is what he knows best. How to show rock and hide his hand. When he's outside, when he doesn't have any responsibility, that's when he's shine the most. Because the gullible people will follow him. And those reactions, because the true seditionists, they are smart people. Those that voted for partisan reason on CDC tickets, they are intelligent people, but the reactions, they're not coming back for them. So those are the people that Akara Greda are going to have behind him when he goes on these podcasts and these talk shows and say, Akara Greda was, I think, 3 or 4 classes ahead of me in SDA. I know Akara Greda. That's just who he is. Akara Greda walking around campus and just use a bunch of big words, redundancies in his statement, use 3 words in one sentence to mean the same thing that people think he's intelligent. That's Akara Greda. He would use 3 different words to say blue. Then people say he's intelligent. So that's just him. He likes to make noise, but when you put responsibility on him, he cannot perform. I know him for SDA, he cannot perform. So when he was in the legislature, now he's outgoing representative, what did he do over there but make noise? What kind of lawlessness is that you have a representative that can run around the country with thugs behind him, terrorizing university students, running around the country? That's for police people to handle situations like that. But it's mob justice. That's the problem with our country. The lack of security infrastructure. That's the problem. You see? So, I mean, I don't want to go on and on, but I just want on my mind right now. We really need to address or talk about this thing, and Baka need to address that in his first year, the security situation. The entire country should be safe. What happens if there's an issue happening in the Southeast? When will rescuer get to the people in the Southeast or to other counties that are miles and miles away from Montserrat? Montserrat is not Liberia. People suffering and dying outside, and nobody can get to them. No help can get to them. Fire service can get to them. Healthcare, not there. Security, not there. What happened to our people out there? Fix the country, secure the country, so people can leave. There are people in Montserrat that have land, properties in other counties that they can go and do that farm work. But people don't want to go there because they're not safe. It's ridiculous. But we hope JMB will come and we'll hold his foot to the fire. He has to do everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Prince.
Well, let me say good morning to Nelson and then good afternoon to you all and the rest of the world. You know, the thing that's on my mind is that first thing first on my mind is a couple of senators fighting to pass a bill for Fulani brothers to bring Agua oil to be the sole proprietor of Agua oil in Liberia. Have monopoly over it. It's just sickening. So because these guys feel that they're leaving, also when they're going, they want to get some concession agreement there that will hurt the people of Liberia and the Liberian people. Who does that? Who does that to their own
Okay,
citizens?
experience on that, right? Okay, go ahead.
Who does that to their own citizens? The same thing happened 205 when Ellen took office, you had John Haran only bringing importing rice in the country. He put 6 pickers before Ellen. Ellen said, no. This is not the time. Any Liberian who got money can bring rice into the country. They are open to bring rice into the country. Anybody who can bring cement, because when they got cement in the country, you can bring cement. Anybody who can bring SYZ steel, you can bring SYZ because why? The market can explode. And that's how you see other investors, Liberians started coming out with those kind of a thing there. Now, my second issue that's on my mind is the free port of Monrovia, the gateway to the economy of Liberia. That free port is a disaster. Today, my brother was telling me, I thought he ordered that free that container. Since this year, January, the container says at the port, requesting him to pay $17,000. $17,000 USD. Not Liberian. I'm like, and you the sad part about it is that when you sign the contract with a container company, for example, CTM, for example, you get Sea Shipping, you got ANC, you got MCM. When you sign that contract with them, in that contract, it states you got 21 days at the free port of Monrovia to free your container. 21 days. Now, Liberian government got the rogues over there they call the APM terminal. Those are complete criminals. How the container will arrive, the people who give you the container, who you pay for the container to, they tell you that you got 21 days in Liberia at the Liberia Port Authority. But then when you get to Liberia Port Authority, the APM terminal tell you say you got only 5 days. In the 5 days, Saturday included, Sunday included. Who does that? Then, when that 5 day passes or it elapses and you don't free that container, every day is $20. Every day that passes is $20. Then you bring after that one, is that even settled? You bring another criminal group you call the CTM collectors, the container tracking number. What do you need container tracking number for? Because the moment you pay for the container, they give you a tracking number. That tracking number you can use it anywhere in part of the world. Your container is, you will track it right on your phone. So why are we paying $150 for that? Last but not the least, the free port of Monrovia got one crane to offload a vessel. One crane. A country. APM terminal need to go. Why do you even need the group they call Beaver? You got a group of Indian posted in India controlling the port of Monrovia with Beaver. When I do the map, I'm like, why would these people be sitting in India? Because these are some of the reasons why when your container gets to Monrovia, you don't get the CFR. If you don't have the CFR from Beaver, that container sitting right there, APM terminal container charging you every day. That's $20. So before you made up your mind, you already now enter over $5,000. The goods you even got in the container is less than $5,000. You didn't even pay $49 for it. So that's free. And the last but not the least, even if we have our brothers coming as brokers, we got to create some kind of job for them, but the broker system, it's not good. It's not helping the Liberians. We that oversee that same container Liberia, it's not helping us. Because you got more criminals in there. More criminals.
Yeah.
So I hope if you set up a system that people go online and pay for the container, pay government taxes that go to government revenue, it's so common and simple. APM terminal contract need to be reviewed thoroughly. The CTM, that group, were cheered out of Freetown. Then the king, the son of Redder, upon embrace them. Because nobody know where all the money go here. Nobody know where money go here. You got Beaver. Tell me what Beaver wrote.
Thanks a lot. You raised a very important point. Let me say welcome to the show, Maggie. Thanks for joining us. And I
Yeah,
see Raymond in the background. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Now, we you raised a very important point. Some time ago, I remember there was this interview done by our media colleague, Kotu. At the Guinea border, there's a place there where, um, in fact, there are so many people wanting to bring vehicles in the country. They use the Guinea port of entry. They pass through Guinea. They pass their vehicles through Guinea, and then to Liberia. So there was this interview with the drivers. It's like their daily hustle, their normal thing to do at the border. Like you wake up in the morning, you go there, you cross car from the Guinea side of the border to the Liberian side of the border, and then you go back. For every car they cross, he was saying they get something around $20-$30 or so for every car they take from the Guinea side of the border to the Liberian side of the border. And there were about 5 of them who agreed to speak with him in that interview. And he was asking, and there were so many of them. The number of people who didn't agree were even more than those who agreed to speak. And he was asking the guys, like, how many cars do you cross daily from Guinea to Liberia? And almost all of them said the same thing. The first guy, the second guy, the third guy, they said, on the normal day where there are more cars coming in, good business activity going on, we cross about 50 to 60 cars. One person is saying that they cross about 50, 60 cars per day. But in the case where business is not good, and what have you, they cross about 30 cars. The least cars they cross per day is 30. So, and when I watched that interview, the first thing that came to my mind was, okay, why are those people crossing or using Guinea in the first place to bring those cars to the country? Now you talk about the system, you just talk about some of the very issues there at the port. And then the next thing is, what if we reduce some of those different fees and taxes and what have you to get the quick nickel instead of the slow down? Assuming a single person is crossing 30 cars per day. Let's take the least of 30 cars per day. A single person is crossing 30 cars from Guinea to Liberia. And they have 5. Let's just take the 5 persons. Let's just take the 5 persons that agreed to speak on that interview, right? 5 persons, and each of them is crossing 30 cars. You'll be talking about 150 cars every day. And the guy said they work, even on Sundays, they work. But let's take from Monday to Saturday. So the 150 cars per day, times that by maybe
29 days.
No, let's take 6 days a week.
Oh, you want to do that
90
week?
cars. And then you times that by 4, you'll be talking about 300 3,000. So let's just say, let's take the lease of 3,000. Now, if you are just taking about 3,000 cars, over 3,000, but let's take the lease of 3,000. If you are just reducing the taxes and all of those different things that people will pay at the port, maybe just reduce it by half. You will notice that a lot of people will be encouraged to bring those items through the port of Monrovia. And then we will start to generate more just from the port. But a lot of people, and this is where we are. And, there's a whole different aspect of it. It's a whole issue there all by itself. But I think you strike a very important point, Prince. And many of those things will have to be looked at seriously.
But Nelson, look at the thing. My brother said I'll continue in January of the year. January of the year. They continue to stay to the port. demanding to pay $70,000 with 2 cars inside. Who does that? The container, actual empty container here is $2,800. Sea shipping is $3,000.
Yeah. It's something that's worth talking about. I hope the government, whether the president or the incoming government, can really look at some of those issues. Mikey, let's hear what's on your mind quickly because we're about to move on.
I have not followed anything today. Stuck here. So we can just move on.
Okay. So lots of things happening in the country. I want us to end the discussion with our regular trending issues and all of that. Maybe we can kickstart with what we did promise our folks yesterday, and then we can little move to our trending issues because lots of things to talk about. Yeah, but I'd like us to kickstart the discussion as we promised the folks yesterday about this whole thing that has to do with mental health. Miss Cora is going to be joining us. She's requesting. So Miss Cora is not in the chat room yet. Wow. I always see her in the comment section requesting for the link. I think she needs to join in. Okay, so the link is in the comment section. So I want us to kickstart the discussion tonight with this whole issue about mental health. We will expand as we move along in the course of the week. But tonight is going to be basically about, the whole term mental health. A lot of people in our country, when they hear about this, they have their own interpretation of it. They have their own meanings they attach to it. And there are different ways we react to it as well. And a lot of time we think that this concerns only the people out there who are going without clothes and a lot more. And so I want us to kickstart this conversation tonight. We'll have more people joining us, but it's good that we have our own brother Sandy here who has some expertise in that area. Maggie as well, and Miss Cora, who's going to be joining us. So to begin this whole conversation tonight, Sandy, I want you to take us through in the first place this whole thing about mental health. What should come to the mind of someone when they hear the term mental health? What is mental health in the first place? Who is that person that's considered to be mentally healthy? I want you to drill us through from there, and then we can kickstart the conversation.
So Nelson, thank you. And the reason we are talking about this is because it is an important thing to bring to our people awareness, right? Mental health or mental illness is not a new thing, but it's really how it has been addressed in our part of the world. There are two terms or two words usually used when we're talking about mental. It's either we say mental health or we say mental illness. And it's important that we establish what those two things are.
Okay.
The first thing is your mental health really just refers to your emotion, your psychological, your social well-being, your ability to handle stress. Those are your mental health. That does not necessarily mean bad thing, right? How a person handles stress. When you're stressed, we all can be stressed, right? When a person is emotional, we all can get emotional, right? So mental health, the term mental health, is not necessarily a bad thing.
Okay.
Where we start to get into or health condition is when we mentor the word mental illness.
Okay.
And that's what we want to talk about. That's what we want to focus on tonight, right?
Okay.
Mental illness really means conditions that affect your thoughts, your emotions, and your behavior, right? That could lead to a lot of distress. That's mental illness. That could lead to a lot of distress. It could limit your functional ability. Mental, right?
Okay.
There are layers to it. And that's why we say with that bring it here. There are layers to it. A lot of us can have mental illness without even knowing. A lot of us can be mentally ill without even knowing. Or we can see certain conditions, certain things in people that are mental health related or mental illnesses, but then we coin them to be certain things, especially in our parts of the world. In Liberia, we are Liberian. They use Liberia.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important that we talk about it, right? Mental health could be as simple as having an anxiety attack, right? As simple as being depressed, as simple as having some emotional disconnection, or you are emotionally discharged, right? Mood disorder, simple as that. But then it can build on. How you handle it plays an important part into whether it's going to lead to a major health problem for you. Major is really when we recognize it in Liberia, when it becomes major. Major now is when you see folks on the street, right? We call them crazy people. By the way, we shouldn't be using crazy anymore, crazy people. Here, what we try to do is to rephrase those words, because mental health comes with stigma. Mental illness comes with stigma. And we're going to get into a lot of that.
Yeah.
How you refer to somebody, how you treat them when they start to exhibit some mental illness or signs of mental illness. It could either lead to, it could determine how their illness grow, or it could also determine how you help them to recover from their mental illness. Let me give an example, right? Usually back home, when most of our older folks, when folks start to get older, our mom and our pa, then they start to get, the grandma, then grandpa, then they get old. They start to have one of the most common mental illness they start to develop is here what we call this thing. Depression. Yeah.
Dementia.
I'm sorry. Dementia. Dementia is the major one. Dementia, Nelson, basically they start to forget things. They start to repeat things. They start to do the same thing over and over, say the same thing over and over, forget the same thing over and over. Dementia. We found that in our old people. So you see your grandma start calling, go and start telling you, start asking about him. Or you tell grandma this thing, in less than 2 minutes, grandma coming back and talking about that same thing. What we start to say to grandma, we say, grandma crazy. That other woman, she crazy. And what usually happens back home, Nelson, is that when we start to see those things, we start to refer to them in that manner, we start to coin them as witchcraft. Right? So now you see how the culture is coming into it. Instead of giving grandma help, instead of taking care of grandma, we say grandma now is a witchcraft. Grandma has dementia. All grandma needs help. Grandma needs care. All the papa needs help. Papa needs care. But now we say papa are witchcraft. Papa forget things. Papa repeating things. Papa doing things that are not normal anymore. Papa really just need your care. But we abandon Papa. Nothing you see people on the streets back home. Mostly, out of substance abuse, and substance abuse can also lead to mental illness. And that's one of the
Yeah,
most common things in Liberia.
And we're gonna come to that aspect, some of what leads to mental health and all of that. But we want to zero in on the term itself, and and everything surrounding that. Let's say welcome to Miss Dorian, and at any point in this conversation, the rest of the panelists can ask some questions. At this layer of the conversation, they can ask some questions. Yes, and we will be giving it up to you guys to provide the information. Shirley Sneh as well has some expertise in this mental health, and she will be joining us on the show. But let's move to Miss Kura.
Hold on, we're not going in the queue.
Okay, now.
Or maybe I want to keep on sure I didn't give you guys my background. Also, that's probably why you want to go to people that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But then go ahead.
I'm not like saying who's doing a doctorate, but at least I've been able to run a company, a group home as an assistant director for almost 5 years with people with intellectual disability. So I can shed some light on that from the administrative side too of things. But what I also know. I mean, when it comes to mental health, is any behavior that somehow, in some way, shape, or form, out of what we consider "quote unquote" normal.
Okay.
Sometimes it can even be as we call it. Sometimes you see somebody say that the person dumb, right? Because that person is slow to process information. That's mental health. Sometimes sadness is a form of mental health. There's so many factors that lead to that. It could be a traumatic incident that caused that person that used to be once very lively or exciting to just retreat into themselves. And that person, it would take a miracle or a long time for that person to come back to who they used to be. Like Cindy mentioned, we call the people the C word or crazy people back home. Over here, we don't use that word. So we tend to look at things differently. But these are the folks that we work with a lot, especially for me. What the folks that I work with and the program that I run is for the severely aggressive people. Those that suffer from like a severe brain injury or explosive disorder. And I work with a team of clinicians that we create behavioral plans and things like that to help guide that behavior. It's almost like manipulation, but manipulation is not always a bad word. But for the population that I work with, is a form of manipulating them to do the right thing, especially for somebody who is very aggressive and destructive. So mental health can come in a whole lot of different forms. But I know you want to get to treatment later, but I just want to throw a little bit out there also to just give a little bit of background on what I know about the field.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Francis, and we'll certainly come back to you. But let's hear from Mikey. Mikey, I saw your hand up.
Yeah, because we'll be leaving from this place. Hi guys. Radio Land, people in Liberia and the US and around the world. Today, where my focus would be, we're talking about mental health. And mental health is, like I said, it's a global issue. It's some of them start from birth, some it's after birth, and some you cannot even what should I say now? It's late term. You diagnose it in late term. Some you can diagnose early because they have signs. But today, my focus will be on autism. Let me give you a background for me.
Okay.
I'm not a expert in this area. I'm a nurse, So, but also I'm a living testimony because I also have someone who dear to my heart and with autism. So
Okay.
when I talk about autism, I'm not only talking from the nurse perspective, I'm also talking as a parent, as a caregiver. And one funny thing, when I was going through this process, certain time I used to forget that my son comes to the same office that I'm in right now. His pediatrician is my boss. So when I was trying to advocate for my son, and a lot of people don't have that, I will forget sometimes I will be in a mom shoe, and I have to be redirected to which side are you playing? Are you playing mom? Or are you playing nurse? So let me go back. I'm going to talk about autism. Um,
Okay.
autism is global developmental delay, and most kids are diagnosed. Some kids are diagnosed as early as 13 to 15. Let's say from 15 months, and up to some kids 3 years. Some kids can be late, and most of our people that I talk to, some of them. And I know in Liberia, I will have to listen to Miss Doyen because she worked in Liberia, and maybe she will be able to explain to me on this forum what the help that they have for kids with autism. Autism have stages. They start from they have a first level, second level, and a third level. And at first, autism was breaking down into different groups. They have Asperger syndrome. They have cognitive delay, which is social with the social aspect, and they have speech delay. And they have different delays that they used to diagnose patients back then as a group, not as a group, but as individual. But
Yeah.
for some, they came together and they just make one big word because I was trying to look for something to show you the symbol of autism. If you look at the symbol of autism, it's colorful. And the
Okay.
reason why they use
Sorry to interrupt you, Maggie. For someone listening to us down there who may
Mhm.
not understand the
I'm
term
going to start with the sign.
autism,
The sign. I'm coming there.
yeah,
That's when I start with the sign.
I just want us to break it down to that level where at
Yeah.
least
But you
everyone
have to
following
let
the
it
show
know.
to be able to
So,
yeah.
yeah, for someone listening to me in Liberia, maybe because I'm focused here, my mind is here, but for someone listening to me in Liberia, I have to tell you this side. That's what I start with when kids can start to be diagnosed, when you can start to see signs.
Yeah.
Someone who is not in the medical field might have might not know what the child is experiencing at the early because it starts from early. That's why you need early intervention is very helpful.
Okay.
Very helpful. At 5 months, each each delivery developmental stages or child or baby have to do certain things. For example, when you reach like 5 months, you have to start having eye contact. Sometimes eye contact is one of the first example. I mean, as a sign that people find out with children with autism. They don't have that direct eye contact, and that's why we call back when we say that person is shy. No,
Okay.
that person might not be shy. They might not have they're thinking that when they're talking to you the way I'm talking to the panelists, I'm looking at them. If an autistic person is sitting in my seat right now, uh, if that person have not started early intervention, let me start from there. Did not do early intervention, and they start like a late. Communication will be difficult, and yeah, communication will be difficult. Eye contact will be difficult. You see back home kids, you might see your child, um, you talking and you calling their names. Let's say Margaret, you have a baby named Margaret. and you
Yeah.
like Margaret, that baby. You would think that that baby is ignoring you or dead. And that's some of the things that we have to do in Liberia to diagnose a kid, even if they pass the first sign, because after birth we have to do hearing tests. Even if that kid passes a hearing test, you still have to carry them for reevaluation after within the first 12 months of life. You have to carry them for reevaluation, especially if you notice sign of delay that they're not paying attention to you,
Okay.
because that would be some of the sign that we look at. And then when you see kids, some kids they rock like this, okay? I know if people not on, I mean, watching live and they only listen to the ear by way of whom they might not see me demonstrating. But what I'm saying, rocking is that like their body is always moving. They're always in that, like I say, happy place. It's not a happy place, but they're always active. They want to do something because their mind is all over. That's why you say people, oh, that person is crazy. That person, that person have some what a word, I want to use something that word, but that person is crazy. And that person shy, yeah, they start to bullet them. But there's a lot of stuff that go in. That's what I preach on early intervention, because when you start early intervention, most of these problems would not be resolved completely, but it will start to get resolved. When my son, let me bring it back to me. When I started to see signs of my baby was just 5 months old. Me from the healthcare, I noticed it early because he was so smart, very smart. That child, and I want kids with autism. Some of our smart people on this planet Earth have autism. Autism is not something that somebody is supposed to be afraid of. People want to know, when I hear people back home or even in this country that we live in, they don't want their kids to be labored. But that's the wrong thing.
Thank you.
It's good to start an early intervention at an early age for you to have help.
Okay, so again, Maggie, we're gonna move to Miss Kura, but when you talk about autism in the simplest term, I want you to, get it across to someone listening to us, this morning. Yes, it's one of the mental health conditions that
It's part, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, what specifically happens? What are those things that, when they see, they should then be able to know that this is a sign of autism?
I left a couple of them here.
Eye contact.
Maybe you weren't listening. I left the eye contact. Kids, with the way I'm talking to you, somebody with autism, if you're having a conversation with them, they might have their head bent down. You might be talking to them direct. They might be looking, but that's not all the case. That's what I wanted to talk about, the picture. Autism is not one size fits all.
Okay, so we're gonna come back.
Yeah, one second. One person might exhibit a five of this sign, and another person might only exhibit like 2 or 3. It's colorful. They have different stages and they have different signs. But that's why they used to diagnose you with autism. With different developmental delay. But they decided to bring it together as one. That's why they call it autism, because every patient is different, and you have to attack them where they are.
We'll come back to you, Maggie. We're about to move to Miss Kura, but let's hear you quickly, Cindy.
Yeah. So autism is an important part, is an important episode of mental health that Maggie is trying to bring to the table here. But here is the thing: it's a developmental delay. So when the delay of the neuron, right? Obviously, we're talking about the brain, but a child is born, they are delayed in their development. So it could be speech, it could be the ability to do certain things, right? So she's saying a 5-year-old pretty much acting like a 3-year-old, right, or even a 2-year-old, in terms of behavior, right, they're having those challenges. Autism, ADHD, they are neurodevelopment disorder. So you watch out for a child in your community or in your home and notice, okay, this child is now the child 3-year-old, but the child is not acting like, small Jim. Jim is 2-year-old and Jim is, active. Jim is doing this. Jim is talking. Jim is, reading an ABC. But John, on the other hand, John is 5. Now, here's the thing. For me, I'm going to take it into the Liberian context, right? Culturally. You know what I'm saying? In our typical Liberian home, especially in the village, we start to say, okay, then maybe Jim, Jim man wish him. Jim grandpa wish him. I told you, the reason Jim is not acting like, he's 5, he's 6, but the reason he's not developed like John, who is 2 or who is 3, maybe something is happening in the home. Instead of finding help for that 5-year-old to be on par, to start to develop, grow, because mental health, like I said earlier, is how you support the individual. So when you are not supporting that early intervention, when you are not supporting that 5-year-old to start to pick up gradually, they're going to continue to delay. By the time they reach 30, 40, you start to see that they can't even take care of themselves. They can't do what a normal adult would do, right? So catching it early is important. That's autism.
Okay. Miss Cora, you want to come in?
Yeah, thank you.
Issues, since you didn't get to have the time to start up the conversation, you can come in.
Thank you, Nessie. Thank you to every one of you. But as a primary healthcare nurse, when we discussing mental health, we should be very careful how we discuss mental health. If we're going to discuss the issue, it's very important. Like the way Sunday started it, we will go from the grassroots level, understand the basics of mental health. Then before we start going to the mental health condition, the mental health disorder, the mental health illnesses. So say we have whole week. I want us to just be able to guard the way we started, we guard our process. We guard it in a way that we should not be at the initial stage, we break it in the condition. Then we confuse our listener out there. There are a lot of people who don't understand mental health issues in Liberia. When they hear the word mental health in Liberia, the first thing that comes to their mind, they say that craziness. Because the way mental health was introduced into our community, mental health was introduced negatively. The first introduction was that building rehab home to take people for the street. But mental health is far beyond that. Like what she's saying, we have different approach, different way. But for me, for now, for today, I want us to have the community approach. I want us to introduce mental health to the people. I want us to define mental health to the people. So
let's take off from there, Miss
Yeah,
Cora.
so taking off from there, firstly, I would like to
Prince, can you set your camera? Your camera is distracting us. Seriously. Yeah, go ahead.
So now, I would like for people to know my goal is to empower individual, family, friends, and our community to take charge of their health. Having said that, mental health is an integral part. It's integrated into health. It's just a component of health. So for our people out there to understand, do they know what is health? Most time people think that health is the absence of diseases or infirmity, but no, it's far beyond that. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being of an individual. So, and that component we're going to take back from the health institution and the health sector, which has to do with mental health. It's talking about your well-being, like what Cindy said. It speaks to the person's ability to think, your mind. Am I doing the right thing? From 1970 now, in Liberia, we continue to have mental health issues. But in our clinical settings, when we're doing diagnosis and treatment, all of our cases, you will never find the person is diagnosed of a mental health condition. It's quite recently, they try to incorporate mental health cases within our health setting, but our people do not understand what mental health is. So mental health speak about the person totality, their ability, can they work, can they think for themselves? Can they describe something and say, I'm going to do this? Every one of us, in Liberia, one way or the other, we do have mental health condition. Everybody in the world, out of 8%, 1% is mentally ill. Out of 8, that's information that WHO brought up. Out of 8%, 1% got mental health condition. For example, just to get up from bed, you don't want to go to work. When you become stressful, it affects your mind. It affects you, that mental health condition. You cannot afford to pay your children's school fee when it batters you physically. That's a mental health condition. There's another mental health condition. People will do transfer aggression. For example, in Liberia right now, you see somebody saying that, okay, your government is there. You will see, will do this, you did that. They are having mental health condition because they're taking that transfer aggression of health into somebody. They want to hurt somebody because they are hurt. That is a mental health condition. Our people need to start understanding the way they behave, the way they react, the way they do things to other people that will cause pain in the life of somebody is a mental health problem. So we have different stages of mental health. So at the level of our community, our people, there are some people who, when they get in community, they get in a discussion, they only want to be heard. When they speak, nobody should speak. That is a mental health condition. There are also a mental health condition which has to do with personality disorders. Personality disorder has a lot of influence on people. It causes people to behave the way they behave. It causes people to have a sexual intercourse with their children. You know what is that? That's a mental health disease. There are some mental health conditions that make people, when they see somebody, they will just diagnose you without even knowing you. So these people need to know the smaller clinical activity, the smaller community behavior, how we react to things, how we cope with things, how we respond to things. So there are a lot of issues. There are another meeting I would like to talk about in the next few days, which has to do with post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah. So
for now, I just want us at the basis, like what all of my colleagues said, they have spoken clearly, especially the introduction of mental health. Let understand mental health
someone in the comment, someone in the comment section, Bill Rogers is saying, brokenness. He says, brokenness. Can when you are broken, you're down. Is it another form of
depression?
It's a form of depression.
Okay, so Mobile Prince, you have any questions before we move to the next layer of the discussion?
No, well, I mean, I did work with a couple of cases when I was working with a couple of homes before, where Joa Maggie said dimension. You got to always try to redirect those kids when you see them in that form. And you always got to have that fast mind looking at them. That's number one. Two, you always have to have the facility always around them clean and tighten, so that they can pick up stuff, eat it up, because anything they see that they think that is better is going to the mouth straight.
We're
those
gonna get we're gonna get to those other aspects. I'm saying we're gonna get to those other aspects.
That's the word.
Maggie, are you on stream?
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought I turned the camera on. I was trying to call it one.
All right, so I mean, it is good. It is good that we got. I mean, Brother Sandy here, Miss Cora also here. That on a broader perspective, and Maggie has the technical know-how of these things. That I mean, even to our own self homes, we can be able to have our own family members who going through certain things, to be able to give them some advices from what we learn also from them. Despite, I mean, as what we said, work on the home things in the healthy with OESA. You won't work with who services, you work with St. Francis. All these people over there, and I mean, you call them now. Before they used to call them say disability, but now you call them individual. So I mean, it's a great. I mean, it's a great topic that we're on here today. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. It's not much. My colleague has said it all, and I think I got a little idea on that a little bit. But I would just emphasize on maybe just coming with maybe like a 1 minute something. First of all, the parents who bring the children in the world, actually, sometimes they contribute massively for the mental health of the children as much. Sometimes because, for example, if you're pregnant, there are certain things like for America, people taking drugs, right? When they're pregnant, they affect the child. If you're taking drugs, like
1 second. I don't know.
Yeah, coming.
1 second. I don't want to correct.
Maggie, don't correct him. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Maggie.
Yeah. So I think with Ima, my thinking, with Ima know how that what I understand from that part, mother also contributed massively for that children mental illness, more especially the one who call autistic kid. Autistic kid, someone born with it, and some like Maggie come in because he keep that.
Maggie, you gotta stop that.
No, let me come in.
You giving
Maggie,
come in.
No, 1 second. We here to educate. We here to
but Maggie,
No, let me go ahead, Maggie. Go ahead.
1 second. I'm sorry, but 1 second. Pregnancy, mother have no, especially when it comes to autism. The parent or the mother. Let's move over for the mother. The mother have nothing to do with a child coming into the world with, getting autism.
No, but some drugs.
Okay, there are some mental health cases, congenital malformation.
It's not an argument, but
let's do this one at
Cindy,
a time.
I think you got idea much on that.
Please,
let's
do this.
You
can,
much idea on that. It is true. I'm telling you, it's something that.
Let me just come in shortly, Moba. We have to do it one after another. If Moba is making a point, let's have Moba to lend his thoughts. If you have some clarity you want to make with respect to the point that he raised, and of course you can do that, but let's try to avoid the 2 minute interruptions and all of that. So Moba, and at this point I want us to get this clear, folks. At this point we're not going into the different aspects, the details, prevention, cues, and all of those things. Look, the first phase of this discussion is intended to introduce the whole idea of mental health to our people. When they hear about mental health, what is that thing that should come to their mind? How do they identify what mental health is, or what mental illness issues are, and all of those things? I mean, that's basically why we're here tonight. We're going to take up to a week, to have brief discussion on this every time on the show, plus our other talking points, but I don't want us to jump into other aspects, that we're not ready for tonight. Okay, so let's take Francis, then we'll take Cindy.
Just quickly, so I'll still talk about mental health and pretty much basically how to identify it too, especially for our people in Liberia. Just look at it this way. Anything that tends to take you out of character or who you normally are or how you normally operate, that's affecting your mental health. Like we talk about stress, we talk about abuse, we talk about neglect, we talk about even what's happening in the country right now. A lot of the entire country right now suffering from some form of mental health issue, as the people themselves that can barely put food on the table for their children or send them to school. Those parents, they are suffering from some severe form of mental health because the stress of going to bed and not knowing what you put on, whether you put food on the table, the next day for your children, that can affect your mental health. Like it's going to make sure you don't even want to get out of bed because you're asking yourself, when I get up, what am I going to do? How is my life going to be better? How is my life going to be different? So when you are, our people in Liberia, when you stay out there and you see a happy person, or you are a bubbling person that always lively, all of a sudden you just start feeling stressed because of external factors. What's happening in the country? You see lack of infrastructure, lack of opportunity for people to make a living. All these things can affect the mental health because it turns to stress. And then when your mental health is affected, because mental health is a short-term issue that can be dealt with if addressed early on. So a lot of these things happen. Just anything affects your mind and change your mood, that puts you in a bad space or make you think negatively of things. That's mental health. So don't just wait for somebody to be running around with their clothes off or throwing rocks at other people. It's just somebody who you know that cannot provide for the family, that cannot do anything. Even kids suffer from mental health because their parents cannot provide for them, and they go into school hungry. It affects their mental health because, and that way when they're in class, they can focus on the teaching, on what the teacher is teaching. That also affects the kids' mental health.
Yeah, Sandy, I saw your hand up.
One of the easiest common health problems we have as human beings, but easily ignored, is mental health.
That's it.
And that's why we are here tonight. Mental health is bigger than what we are. This is just the suffix of mental health. America decided to take mental health seriously just a few years back. And now it's recent that we are trying to actually integrate mental health into primary care. Where when you go see your primary care doctor for your stomach, and she sees that you are depressed, or he sees that you are depressed, they can bring you to a mental health counselor in that same space. That's where we need to get to, and that's why we are here. Why is this important to Liberia? Let's just take one instant. One of the common factors that lead to mental health is adverse experiences. Adverse experiences can be childhood, it can be based on war or things that you have experienced. We fought a 14 to 15 year civil war. How many children grew up in that war? I'm one of them. How many of us saw their body, Nelson? How many of us see our mothers and our sisters being abused? How many of us, all the terrible things we saw, adverse experiences can lead to significant mental health issues. So this is important to Liberia. Another problem with our society, Black, African, Liberian, is that we tend to be strong when it comes to our health. We don't take care of it until it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Not just this is every health problem, right? We don't take care of it until it's too late. Then when you drop and die, they say, "Oh, thy uncle wish him." And that boy was doing well. That Nelson boy was doing well, spoon there. And now you with Nelson. I told you about Nelson Jim. That Nelson Jim boy was doing well. They're not wishing because he can't go to Ghana now to, But perhaps Nelson Jim has been sick for long. That same thing goes with mental health, Nelson. We don't take it serious until we start to see them on the street. We don't take it serious until they become abusive to our mothers and our sisters in the homes. And speaking of abuse, how many women go through abuse back home under their husbands, being beaten, being insulted, playing with their emotion? That's mental health. That's why we are here tonight, to bring that awareness to our people.
And that brings us to our next question. Okay, but let's have you taking 1 minute, and Maggie, and then Miss Corey. Let's do 1 minute each because we have to move on. Sharon, I want to say welcome. Thanks for joining us. It's good to have you on. You are muted.
Thank you. It's nice being on.
Okay.
Yes, start from where Cindy was talking from.
Yeah, just do 1 minute, Maggie, so we transition.
That's what I said. I would start from where he was talking from, and when he mentioned about in the home, and like we said, mental health it's very huge. We cannot finish it in 1 week because the topic, the different aspects that people categorize as you having mental health. We go
Yeah.
through mental health audit every day, sometimes every day of our life. Start from childhood trauma. In Liberia, the way we were raised, the way our African parents raised us, our day-to-day talking, some people day-to-day talking was using a switch. Those can
Yeah.
bring childhood trauma. We don't know the effect of those. That's why America call it abuse, but they take it to the different level. But what the way we were raised in Africa and people still do it in Africa, when kids grow up, that can affect them mentally. Mentally, is everything is about the brain. It's about the brain. So Bygone people need to start to know how to talk more and do away with this other place. Everywhere I go, internet problem. Y'all can hear me?
Mikey, thank you. Thank you.
You gotta
1
change
minute.
your, you
Yeah,
gotta change your phone.
Mikey,
yeah,
thank
well,
you.
can we get last more? Yeah. What I was saying? Yeah, go ahead because I just
Okay.
lost my thought.
Miss Cora.
Now, I'll sit down. I'll be
You
leaving maybe
know, you
10
know,
from now.
nursing and maternity, mental health, we just use the word which is very good. The way we treat our children, we tell the children, you stupid, nothing good will come out from all of you. The moment that child start to grow, they see the mother or the father coming, they get fear. It affects them. It affects them so much. In our community, there are some men, excuse me, they have the girls, impregnate the girls, and they go out and discuss the girl. That girl her herself. She afraid to come up to speak because everybody know who she is, who she slept with. It affects her ability to comprehend. It affects her ability to express herself. It does a lot of bad things. In Liberia, when I see somebody pointing gun at me, my heart cut. Why? Because when I was in Liberia during the war, the civil war, I see how the gun destroyed in my family. Mentally, it affected me. It's now I'm trying to graduate from it. When I also coming up, my friends will look at me and describe how I look physically. For that reason, I never used to like to look in the mirror. I just felt I was the most ugliest woman. Until I came to the developed world and see people started to speak on that personal issue, speak and tell people how they are, how they feel good about themselves. Before I started to respect myself. And somebody will tell me, look, Cora, you're a beautiful woman. But mentally, I feel like you are mugging me because when I was coming up and mom and peer, they laugh at me, they speak negative things. But naturally, I know I'm beautiful until I accept it. So that is a mental health condition. There are things that are affecting a lot of people in our country, Liberia, because of the way we speak to them. So this is a topic that we should not overlook. This is a topic that we should go on gradually and just leave the disease component for now. Let's play around the social circle part of it, the emotional part of it. And lastly, I lost my older sister after my mother died. My older sister died. After my older sister died, my mother last child, we were 9 living sisters. You know what happened to me? I came to Canada. I used to just get on the tree and just walk and forget where I go. I will put something on the fire. I forget what happened because the fear of death, it affected me emotionally. It affected me until I started to cancel myself. So something happening to somebody in Liberia there, more than my traumatic event, you can work it out. It's a mental health condition. So this topic is so touchy, it's scary. People can put themselves in a state of denial. And I don't want anybody to put ourselves in a state of denial. Let's face the fact and move forward and improve our lives.
Thank you, Miss Cora. We'll take Sharon. Sharon, you can come in. Maybe you have a point to make on this, and then we will transition tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll talk about the different kinds of mental health conditions, and yes, we will do some arrangement and all of that in the background. But Sharon, you can come in. You have a. But by the way, let's say happy pre-birthday to you. We understand. When is the birthday? Tomorrow? You are muted. You're still muted.
Sorry. Yes, it's tomorrow. Liberia by now. Then I'll be saying happy.
Then what they put in your picture
I see
saying
why
happy birthday, say happy
the
pre-birthday.
comment section on fire. I'm like, who the person that get birthday or our panel? I don't know.
Okay,
Yes,
go
well,
ahead.
thank you guys. Thank you guys. And it's nice joining you guys this evening. This is scheduled work, so that's why I'm barely on. But with the issues of mental health, like all of you guys are saying, it's a very critical issues when it comes to every society. Like one example I always give when it comes to discussing mental health, it doesn't matter whether it's medical, whether it's something that is affecting you socially, emotionally, psychologically. I always give this example. If I had a cut on my wound, on my a wound on my skin, or if I was lying in the pool of blood, there is a possibility somebody seeing that situation will know that I'm in danger. Unlike me going through a serious mental crisis, a serious psychological or emotional crisis, nobody can detect. By some way, you might be able to detect by my actions, maybe by me staying away from people, by the way I talk to people, by the things I do. But it's most likely very hard to tell when somebody is going through a mental crisis, except where it reaches at a point where it has increased, where it becomes a burden on that person that they can no longer hide it. Like you guys said, aggression. Somebody could be going through a situation where all they have witnessed around them is aggression, abuse, emotional torture. So they take on that same attitude to other people. It could be like this person is somehow sociable, but you realize they are staying away from people. They don't want to be involved with other people. They don't want to come close to other people. But the issue of mental health, for you to easily detect that somebody is going through a mental problem or some emotional or psychological problem, it takes a while. They go through a whole lot of process before it is shown by their actions. Unlike me lying in a pool of blood, and you know that I'm other wounded. So the issue of mental health is a very, very serious issue. And if you look at our Liberian society today, our country after the war, and so many trauma that have gone on in that country and continue to go on, it's a real serious issue that we are facing. And it makes it very hard for a nation or for a group of people to move forward, because it's like you guys are not set mentally. You are not fit mentally, emotionally, you are not fit to be able to do what you're supposed to do. So it's a very serious issue that should be looked at. It's not something that can be just looked at from one standpoint, because there are so many reasons or so many effects that leads to mental health.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Sharon. So we okay, we have Jeremiah Davis. Jeremiah, are you with us? Can you hear us? Jeremiah, yeah, you're not here. Jeremiah left. Okay, but we'll have to take few calls. Let's take few calls on this. Let's take very few calls on this as a segment. Then we're going to transition to our next segment, the training issue. We will talk the other things we have to talk about. But let's take few calls. 0555 101075 and we have the WhatsApp line pinned on the screen as well for folks to call in. Let me see if I can squeeze this person in. Maggie, I see your hand up. You want to?
Yeah, I want to say something. I will be stepping now, but I will not be driving. So if you see a seatbelt, I'm not the one who's driving. So can I still be on? Because
I will have you in the background. Once you arrive, I'll bring you back on.
No, I'm not going to be driving. Another
Yeah,
person
morning.
driving.
Okay, yeah, let's take this caller. I'll
Alright.
come back to you, Mikey. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, morning, good morning.
Yeah, go ahead. You're live on the show. Let's hear you.
I'm doing great. This is Prince for the township of Virginia.
Yeah, go ahead, Prince.
Yeah, I've been following the show.
Hello. Okay. Let's take this person here. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Okay, thank you. The next thing I'm Steve Jimmy Cooper.
You want to be audible a bit, sir?
Cooper.
Can you
Okay.
be?
Yeah, I enjoyed the topic tonight, but really I was trying to call the time you guys were on. I want to when you guys come on, please put the the mobile number. I want to make a contribution to the right program. Please, whenever we come on, put the number of us to make a contribution, please.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
All right. So we will take another person here. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, your name and where you call from? Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you.
I'm very enjoying not showing because it's not still like we are going through problems. Yeah, one is saying because it's so that in this country we get children, no color, no nothing, no salary, no help. And going through a situation problem with this money and enjoying it.
Okay.
I tell you, thank you, but
Thank you. I don't know why the guys here are very low, but the WhatsApp line is on the screen as well. Let's take this person. Hello. We'll take 4 more calls and then we transition. Go ahead. You're live.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Naomi.
Yeah, let's hear you.
Huh?
Yeah, go ahead. Make your contribution to the discussion.
Yeah, my name is Naomi.
We heard you.
I know.
No, Naomi, we're not doing the rest. We're finished with the rest. Issue.
My number is 0776.
Yeah,
No,
the discussion we're having when you call that to make contribution to the discussion. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, my name is Caroline Shepard, calling from Police Academy.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear you. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Caroline, you have a contribution to make to the discussion? Okay.
We're calling for the rest.
This is interesting. We're not doing rep in it. We finish with that whole red discussion. But
that mental health issue, how people then struggling in Liberia, so all they can think about is the rights. That's a classic case.
Yeah.
Let's take this person. Hello.
Hey Nelson, this is Rufus.
Okay, it's good to have you on. Let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. The issue of mental health is a very crucial discussion. Unfortunately, most people look at it as a nightmare, especially in our culture, African culture. Whenever you talk about mental health, people misconstrue, misunderstand the issue of mental health to be something different. So yeah, it's good that you are discussing it tonight. I think just discussing it on a basis is not enough. You should have more time to kind of invite people who have credible information or some level of understanding, a broader understanding in mental health, to be able to help our people understand what it takes to kind of deal with this mental health issue. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thanks, Rufus, for your contribution. We'll take 2 more calls and then we'll wrap up. We'll take this one. Hello. Yes, your name and where you call from.
Cousin, this is Andrews. And
Hello.
just lying down like someone talking to me. Mental health doesn't have to be like you crazy.
Just hold on the WhatsApp line. On the WhatsApp line, just hold on a bit. Yeah. Go ahead quickly, Andrew. Let's hear you.
Yeah, like with the situation I'm going through, it disturbs my thinking. Sometimes I just want to jump in front of and my life been taken out because I'm living with a situation. Even sometimes GFK that did the harm to me when I reached the WhatsApp Vicinity Junction. I would
Yeah.
just want to do something every time I look into the compound. Those are all mental health affections, you know. So the word mental health, it has a lot of different dimensions.
Okay.
So I just want the team in studio to remember me, the panelists.
Okay.
I'm just saying every day I think about doing something crazy to myself. I need to get this iron off my leg.
Thank you, Andrew. Thanks a whole lot, Andrew. Thank you. Let's squeeze in this call. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, you're live now. Go ahead, man. Let's hear you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Nelson, for taking my call. First of all, I want to thank all of the panelists for being on the show and just really talking about mental health issue. I think it is so important to really have this discussion. It's much needed for our country, especially when the young lady Maggie talked about autism. So there are a lot of us parents here living in America with children with autism, and it's not an easy thing. And hopefully this will sort of open the people's eyes in Liberia and know that all children can learn, even with any form of disability. So thank you so much for having me.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot. We appreciate-
Nelson,
Yeah.
I want to address the man I just left. Can I just say something to him, please?
Okay.
Yes, my dear brother, firstly, I'm sorry for what you're going through, but you are very important. You are important than the suicidal thought. The behavior, the thing that happening to you, they call it suicidal disorder. You want to kill yourself. No, don't think about that. I want you to know that yes, it's a mental health condition. The first thing you need to do, don't refuse to pass by the JFK area. The more you pass by the JFK area, the place you had a problem, the more less stress and the more less the thought of suicidal attempt will reduce. Don't think about jumping in from a car. You got somebody that life, you got somebody want it. But you got it because God got you for a purpose. So if you are a Christian or you're not a Christian, just know that you are very important to your family. You are important to your children. So take a deep breath every day. If you think negatively, just stand up, walk around, take a deep breath slowly, and you pull it out. And that thing easily will be getting out of your mind. Find time to talk to people. Find time to tell somebody that you love them, and somebody will tell you they love you. So do something that will make you happy. And that thought will go. Maybe other people will get other things to about. Just know that by passing around JFK should not leave you take care of yourself. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nelson, 1 minute, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I was also going to comment on to the young brother, and just to add on to what my big sister said, my brother, nothing is worth taking your life for. I know there are situations we find ourselves in, and we feel like it's not worth us living, but at times you look at yourself, the fact that you have life, that one way or the other you are healthy at some point. I think that's something to be grateful for. And these are some of the reasons why we need a good system. We need a good healthcare system because, come on, that's somebody talking about taking his life. He should be seeing somebody working with him, counseling him. He should be seeing some sort of medical service that will give him that reason, that thought to want to live. Because there are situations you feel like life is just hopeless, life is just useless. But my brother, I want you to be strong. I know it's not easy, but Just be strong for you. I believe you have kids. Be strong for those children, and just be strong. Just give yourself a reason to smile. Just look at yourself and say, I'm better than others. You're not perfect, you're not righteous, but look at yourself and say it could have been worse than this. I had an experience. I'm just gonna take a minute, please. I had an experience where one day I was coming from work, rushing home to take my daughter to appointment and then go for my overnight. Just for my job to just take a turn, I got hit by another car. It was so frustrating because that was like my third major accident in like 2 3 years. So but then when I look at the situation, I was like, it could have been different. I was going to take my daughter to the hospital, but it could have been where they would go and tell my kids that your mommy is in the hospital either dead or either or wounded seriously. So I'm just saying this to say, my brother, you have a reason to still live and to be grateful for. So just be strong. So I
Thank
close on that.
Thanks a lot. We
Nelson,
have
we're
to
closing out on the
transition.
topic of mental health, right?
Yeah, we're closing up on
But
this.
yeah, Nelson.
Yeah, Maba, you.
Yeah,
So
like yeah. Actually, like you coming direct to a different topic or still
Yeah,
on it?
we want to move to another talking point.
Oh, okay. No, actually, I just wanted to make a clarity. Like my BCS said usually right from the beginning. Mental health. There's a lot of ways. There's it's too much. They got different category. Like in America, they got different research. Like what you said in Liberia, a lot of people. Some people there. Like they get sick. Some of them they take all that clothes. They come out. When the sun hot, people say, "Oh, that person crazy." All the one. And some people. Like my sister, she was arguing like, "Oh, people get born with this, people get born with that." But we reach to that. When we reach to that,
Yeah,
I will give
we haven't. Yeah, we haven't
yeah.
got.
I know. I just trying to make a clarity. When we reach to that, I will try to give us some clarity on that. How people can born with it. Sometimes the mother can be, the mother also can contribute, for that identical illness too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
So Nelson,
Sandy?
yeah, as we close on it, because this is the introduction tonight.
Yeah.
And as we close on the introduction, one of the trending questions in the comment section is, what is mental health and what is mental illness? So I just want to leave that. Oh, goodness.
Do it tomorrow. Mental health talk about the mental state of the person. The illness is the aftermath. The illness is the disease, is the condition after you have gotten your mental condition. The mental health speaks to the mind, but the condition that relates to the person's ability to comprehend, the ability to do something, the ability to cope, the ability to articulate, the ability to make decisions. There are a lot of reasons, there are a lot of diseases. And so tomorrow and so on, the comment people will know the difference between the health and the difference between the disorder or the illnesses.
Okay, so
can I say one thing before?
Yeah, Sandy was in flight before.
I just came back on.
I had love, but I didn't make it. So yes, thank you. Look, basically what I want to take home here, and Ms. Cora, you went over this, right? But I want to leave here by saying this. Think of mental health really as a spectrum, right? One hand, you can have a good mental health. On the other, you can have a mental illness, right? As Ms. Cora distinguished illness versus health, mental health. It's possible that you could have a good mental health, but you could also be experiencing a mental illness.
Yep.
Right? I could be functioning well mentally, but deep down I could be depressed. I could be experiencing some level of anxiety. Right? So it's possible. And vice versa. You could also have a mental illness while experiencing, having some mental health, good mental health. Basically, what we should take home tonight as we introduce this topic is that take care of your mental health. Take care of your mental health. It's one of the primary ways that you can prevent or reduce the level of mental illness. But we'll get more into it, how we can, bring it up to Liberia. And I hope we can also have people in Liberia that are contributing to addressing the mental health issues to, join us. Find time to come on a show, contact Nelson Colette. And let's talk about what is being done in Liberia and how some of us with our ideas can also contribute to what is happening or what should be happening in Liberia. So thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. So we want to transition now, and Maggie, you can join in once you're set. Once you get at a very good location, you can join in. Because I see you're having some issues with your camera. So two issues I'd like us to weigh in our thoughts on quickly, and then we'll be closing up on the show for tonight. The first one has to do with and I think Cindy touched on that, and some of the folks here touched on it as well. The death of the Grand Julia County District 1 lawmaker, Representative Ero Madison, and Guion. Yeah, Guion. And something that sparked some tension in the county today. Well, and I know so many times we talk about these issues, we want to just look at it from where the actual commotion started, but there are processes leading to most of these tensions and everything. All right, so the lawmaker, before now, I remember we had an interview with some of the folks on his office. We even spoke with him over a year ago when there was this issue with the election magistrate Alfred Dunor in Grand Julia County, when he presided over an election. And one side of the information was that there were some offers that went before him to tamper with the results. He said no. And yes, after some time, he presided over the election. After the election, and then he went missing. The election magistrate went missing for days. They couldn't see him. For weeks, they launched a search. They still could not find the election magistrate. The family members appear on several media outlets. They talk. They threaten the authorities and everything. They still could not find him. It got to a point where some of the people who were launching a search for Alfred Dunor, the election magistrate, said at about 7 p.m. they heard sound like someone digging in the fence of the superintendent, and so they had this perception that maybe it was a cover up based on the fact that the election magistrate was missing and some ritual, all those kinds of other stuff came up. But that is where the tension actually started from. The lawmaker, the lead now, he was on that side of the election magistrate. He was with the family. He stood by the family. And he was one person who said, look, we've got to get at the end, at the bottom of this entire case. We have to establish as to what happened to Alfred Dunor, the election magistrate. Tension started to spark because they were all influential people. I want you to watch a portion of this video. This video I'm about to play. When the tension started to build up, the Internal Affairs Minister Vanny Sirleaf went in the county to at least try to calm the tension. He was on a radio station in Grand Julia County. He had invited the late lawmaker, Representative Guion, and they were having some engagement with the people of the county, trying to calm the tension when Superintendent Kai Farley and his own group entered the studio. This is what happened.
This, sorry, listener, this interview has been disrupted. This interview has been disrupted. There's a huge, as you can see, the minister is seeking refuge there. This broadcast is being disrupted.
Getting too much. In my media, what I want to tell you, it's getting too much. It's getting too much. The very senators, the very senators of secret attacking you. That's what they get for you. No. To your call.
Okay, so there is a whole long video, but that's just a portion. So these are areas where this entire tension started. And following that interview, this is one of the incidents that occurred.
On 13th Street. We were zoomed away from there by some of our security forces. Until this morning, you will realize that around 12:01, when it occurred, I have just entered and parked the car by 11 something from my compound, and I thought to come home to rest. There's my second residence. And that was how it happened. And the individual that did it was seen from a distance by neighbors. As soon as he came and hit here and there, he took a way out this way.
So, wow. And then the tension continued from there. Up from the point, let me bring those guys on. From the point where the internal affairs minister went to the county, tried to calm the situation, the tension still did not get addressed, up to the point where the lawmaker was attacked, yes. And then you move to the electoral period and everything. Information has it that he wasn't well and everything, and it happened that he passed. And then, because there was already a tension, there was already a disagreement in the county amongst the people, the county was already divided on this thing about the election magistrate who went missing, and up to now, he has not been found. The family, the crowd, they went up and came down, and up to now, the election magistrate is yet to be found. No one knows as to whether he's still alive or not, because all of those issues were not settled from that point. When the lawmaker passed, then that tension, that unresolved situation resurfaced. Oh. Well, some folks said that the passing of the lawmaker, there are some, ritualistic or whatever, or activities that went on with that. The traditional people said, no, this is not the case. And because we already have this tension, the guys then resorted to going to the office of the traditional folks there. And then also the lawmakers whole panel, and then did what they did. They set the office on fire. Oh. It was a devastating situation. Shops had to be closed today, and business people shut down their businesses. It turned out to be a whole chaotic situation. Now, so there are two things going on now. On one end, you have the loss of the lawmaker, something a lot of people are mourning because he's a statesman. And on the other hand, you have this whole thing about shifting of blames. This other person did something spiritually, and all those other African tradition things are playing out. But the bottom line here is that we should never underestimate the need to resolve those little disputes we have in our corners, because You never know what it might turn out to. I mean, what it might escalate into, and sometimes you want to address it at that point. It's difficult. It's beyond your control. But this is what happened. You guys are going to share your thoughts on it. And then on the flip side, I just want us to do it 2 in 1 because we want to wrap up early today. Yeah, we want to wrap up early today. On the flip side, the Liberia National Police had a press conference. Now, so many of you followed this case with Joshua Salomon, a young Liberian who lost his life a couple of days ago. Well, some people had linked that. Okay, so I want us to just watch a portion of this. Then we'll come back to have you weigh in your thoughts on this, and then we will do our closing from there.
Well, thank you so much.
I hope this is.
Bonnie.
Can you guys hear it? Is it? No.
Yeah, yeah, it's clear.
Journalist, welcome. Thanks for honoring our invitation for the death of one of our citizens who met his untimely death yesterday in the 72nd community. Is Joshua Salomon. Joshua is 34 years old. Prior to his death, he served that we are not going to sweep under the carpet anything as it relates to the unscrupulous act that led to Joshua's death. Joshua's death will be duly investigated with time, and I can assure you with time will be served.
Okay, so with time, justice will be served. It's a whole long one. We don't have the luxury of time to play the entire thing. But as part of the latest development in this case, the police have requested Queen Johnson. Now, a lot of you saw the videos that circulated on the social media. The fair-skinned lady in the background, Queen Johnson. A lot of folks say she's a Unity Party partisan. The police have declared her and others who were seen in that video as persons of interest, and they have now been declared wanted. To get at the bottom of this investigation, since it has to do with the loss of a life, a Liberian citizen who was beaten on camera and subsequently died after close to 4 months. The police has taken on this matter, and as you heard the police spokesman say, they're not sweeping it under the carpet. They're going to make sure that they get at the bottom of this investigation. So I want you guys to weigh in your thoughts on this, and then we can start to do our maybe closing from there based on the time we have left. Yeah. So can we start with you, Morba, and then
I'll not be long. Yeah, you know,
you are muted. Are you muted, Morba?
No, you hear me? You hear me? Yeah, everybody hear me?
Are you guys hearing Morba?
Yeah.
Yes.
But why am I not hearing? Okay.
Go up and come back. Come back.
No, I'm hearing Morba.
You get love for hearing, but you're not
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, nothing. You see the police people, right? When we say they are selective injustice, and we, like for the past time, we've been coming here all the time, lamenting on those issues. And, it's just glaring that what all we have been saying, it is true. Now, let me start with the election guy that got missing in what the place they said
in Grandchildren.
Grand
Now,
Children.
it was just the style of the situation, but the main issue today was the burning
yeah,
of.
I know. I coming to that. It's in
Okay.
Grandchildren, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah,
people came
go
out.
ahead.
They said he got missing, right? People came
Yeah.
out. They said he to so and so place. There was no. First of all, there was. I don't think the investigation was carried on. There was no thorough check because first of all, the best witness in every case is the people who live in that environment or in that community. They when the people come out and tell the police, helping the police to investigate this case, right? And say, oh, that person got missing, but we hear in insurance person fence that they were digging a hole. First of all, start an investigation, go get all up, and go there and do your search. Checking the fence. But you know why they left it? Because it was in their interest. It was in their interest. And today, there's no investigation going on. And I think our whole case have been closed. They closed that file a long time. If they even open any investigation on that case. Now let's go to the representative who just passed. The representative, according to what we saw and according to what some of her, he been giving out a long since. How he been a type of Kaifari. Who this Kaifari guy? Tell us Javasi Koji who need keep reaching in every wickedness, every demonic things in our country. Kaifari, Javasi Koji, Kaifari. But you know, the police will sit there and they will not call the people for questioning. But now they tell you, although, let me make it clear. Let me go by the record. Let me make it clear. I'm not in favor in no violence. No, I'm not. I'm against every violence, any way, any means. I'm against it. Let me make that clear first. The guy that passed away, and I knew him. I and him, we had 1 or 2 times, things together before when I went laboratory 18. And but because he saw that video and he coming out today saying that he trying to push the case on somebody that like no, time for rowdy, things happen, right? Things happen. And according to our sources, the guy got ill, right? The man went to the hospital. The man was okay for 3 months, for 3 good months, almost 4 months. And now we hear say the man passed, and then they say they want to diverse the case to other people who
but one thing to consider here, Moba, is that the individuals that they are declaring as persons of interest, they were seen on camera. They were caught on camera.
I saw the video.
In the very
but it was
where the individual was being was
yeah,
being
it was a 2 group
right?
stuff. It's not that one person. It was 2. It was the seditions and the UPs, right? They were into commotion. They say we blocking our road. You're not coming. And in that, anything can happen. Now, okay, in that case, right? Our late brother, got wounded because he was beaten massively.
Yeah.
Taken to hospital, right? And then end of the day, after 4 months, he passed. Now, I don't get problem with him opening investigation. But I'm just trying to make a point that the justice system has been selective in like from day one, from the beginning of George Weah government. Look at Tella Ure when sedition took upon District 15, they tear it apart. They made people uncomfortable. They attacked people's homes. There was any investigation went on? No, there was no investigation went on. There's anybody who was in our group was penalized for what it did? No. That's why we're saying that's why we come here every day. We tell our Liberian people the identical police department is very selective. They're doing the right job. They're not doing things in the interest
so
of the
Mama,
ruling party.
someone listening now may be asking, agree. Considering that, okay, in the case of Tella Ure, no one was apprehended. There was no one held accountable for what happened. No deterrence was set. In the case of Walter Sisulu, right before the U.S. embassy, there was no deterrence. Does that mean that there should be no deterrence set? Okay, yeah, Akara's grade represented grade.
UL, there was no investigation.
Does that mean that there should be no investigation?
No, it's not what I'm saying.
Don't you see this as the police trying to now set things right? They want to
but then that is
drive away from being that quote unquote partisan police that you're talking about.
No, listen. The reason they say partisan arresting police because the guy was in a in CDC shirt and a hat. So we all know him from CDC. So they will take it seriously. But then when let's go back to Ascara Gray on your campus. He went there, he brutalized students. What went on? Nothing. So if the police is serious, right, to carry on any thorough investigation, let them start from number one, the Grand Julia issues. Number two, they come back to Water Susuru, they go back to District 15, and then they go back to your campus. Let the precedent be set. They will not say because it happened for the other person, so because they may not part of CDC, or the person not part of CDC is a party thing, so we must take it we must take it serious and carry thorough investigation on. It is wrong. It is wrong. It is wrong today and it will be wrong tomorrow. And said they will not carry an investigation on our brother who passed. I knew that guy. I told you from the beginning. I said, and that guy, we have, the first time we were at 2018, I ain't have fun. I know him. And he know me personally. We used to chat. So it's not something that I'm saying it because I want to be, like I'm saying it I want to be so, sentiment on something. No, it's not like that. I'm just saying it because it's a reality. If this happened to Paul, if you think investigating the case, let the other case where people giving you evidence, the citizens of place, body were buried there, and there was no investigation go on. You think how people will see all those things? That's the point I'm coming from. And let me conclude by saying that I tell Liberian people, thank you so much for taking the government for in power, because right now, all the people, all the things happen to, right? Trust will be self. More especially that Water Susuru guy, and he walking free there. Recently, I saw him making press conference, threatening the peace of our country, saying that if the UP government go for let's say witch hunt, they will resist and they will get on the street to protest all this stuff. The one who beat Water Susuru, who lead the gang, that man will be beyond bad. But today, he passing, he's setting all and making, talking about a crap. But we tell God, thank you, man. We like our work here today, or we've been doing, is working our favor because we push our agenda and the people listen to it. And then today we get a real serious minded president who will change the entire justice system. And everyone, whether it's edition, you Unity Party, you from Wakanda Party, you will get justice as long as somebody stepping on your toes. We're not saying because for UP, we'll leave you go, no. We will investigate. When you found guilty, we say it to the law. That's it.
Thank you, Moba. Thanks a lot. Ms. Cora, you want to go or you?
Yeah, I want to go. I'm going to work, but Mercy, when it comes to death of young people, that thing always affect me. I really, really need to see how I can just say something. When I look at one of the presidents from Nigeria, I don't know if it was Obasanjo or one of them that was pressing in jail that lost his life. One of the presidents, a Nigerian president. I don't know I forgot his name. Yeah.
Tomorrow, guys.
Okay, Mova. Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to tell you truly, the thing that happened to the lawmaker, the representative, is we are African. We are African. So they know what's happening. I'm sorry that the young man, that he lost his life. But what is happening in our country there, our people need to come to themselves. They need to stop what is unfolding. It's not about individual, it's about Liberia. Burning cars, burning things is a sign of war. It's a sign of war. So I just wanted to see how they can best stop it and then let it bury him. And everybody one day will die. We just don't know how and when. So I just want people to see how we can develop our country and not to be acting the way we are acting.
Okay. On the investigation issue with the police and
the police, honestly,
declaring some individuals wanted in this case to aid with the investigation.
Yeah, when I look at the posture of the police officer who was like making the press release, I cannot psychologically, I can see genuinity in him. I can see his honest behavior to say that he's moved by what's happening. I just feel like he's saying it to please the public, the general public. So I think people need to do more. What has been happening over the period? Is it because of this time? Is it something they want to prove that when they say people should see that they are working? Is it a job they want to maintain? Is it honest something they're doing? Are they doing investigation before they come up? So to make a press release, you should be able to come up with facts. You're supposed to say, over this period, this is what we have done. This is our findings. And these people, we get the forensic proof. We get this, let he lay out all of the information that we got the press release. But he cannot come over there and just, it's not a bluff. Somebody lost their life. So I think it's a bluff. He wasn't real. So that's my take. And I'm sorry for the loss. And to every one of you already on this platform, we learn from one another. And I think I have been learning a lot. And I want to appreciate everybody for the time. And I can tell you that this is a learning process. So thank you very much. Please add me in the chat room. And I'm going to do my 1-2-1-2. I'm stressed when I get mental health problem because I'm going to work. I don't want to go.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot,
Take a deep breath.
I'm tired, but I gotta go.
Sandy, let's hear you.
Nelson, on the issue of the late Representative Eron Madison Guell, if you permit me, I want to give a little information from his story.
Go
I'm from Grand Gita.
Okay.
We have 3 electoral districts in Grand Gita. District 1, 2, and 3. Chen, Bazon, and Quinambo, I believe. Chen, Bazon, and the other district, district number 2. So let's stick with the numbers. Honorable Gwen came into the House. He took over the seat of Senator Zoe Emmanuel Peno in 2020, when Zoe Peno was elected to the Senate. That's how Honorable Gwen was elected to the House in 2020. He has been a sedition for many years. However, during that 2020 by-election, what we heard was that he wasn't given the CDC ticket, so he went independent. And there was a heavy influence of CDC in Grand Gita for that seat in 2020. But yet, he's won his seat. When he came to the legislative, the Grand Gita Legislative Caucus was already divided. 2 of our leaders were on the other side, Mr. Zoe Peno and outgoing Representative Ellie Chester Grant.
Yeah.
And the other 2 at the time, or 3 at the time, former Senator Gay, outgoing Senator Marshall Dennis, outgoing Representative Dr. George Bode were on the other side. Thank you. Chair Bazo and Cleanable. Thank you, Rufus. So those 3 were on the other side. So when Gwen came, he joined Senator Marshall Dennis and Dr. Bode. So they had their own clique. So that division has been in the Grand Gita Legislative Caucus. Because they make him independent, we start to see some tension. It was that 2020 election that also led to the disappearance of Alfred Donner, a very sad story. And Mr. Gwen, who was elected as of that election, took that matter very seriously. The disappearance of Alfred Donner, he took it very seriously. And there has been accusations that Donner and other people perhaps did something with numbers and they brought, Representative Gwen in. They elected him pretty much, that they cheated on his behalf. I'm sorry. The parents kick it. So there has been just accusation, my brother, in the county, right? And this guy, he just got re-elected again. Honorable Gwen got re-elected again, this election on a CDC ticket. 2020, he was independent, but this time around, he went on a CDC ticket and he won. But you show the video between the tension between him and Kai Fale and all that. Why am I sharing this? This story is what we see play out today in Grand Juda, in Zredru. Okay, when he passed, we were on the show last night when I got the information that he passed, and I gave the information from the show last night.
Yeah.
What I heard was he has been sick even prior to this election. He was in India. From India, after the election, he went to Ghana and he passed in Ghana. When they heard the news this morning, his supporter got angry that there has been some confection, and I'm quote unquote traditional confection, that people believe based on confection that the Senator Zoe Emmanuel Penu and others have direct link to his death. Okay? Maybe through the form of witchcraft, that they have direct link to his death. And that's why his supporters went out there today, burned one of Zoe Penu home, burned the office of the traditional council, and destroyed Zoe Penu's new home that he's building. He have a beautiful house. He have a beautiful house on a hill with glass. I saw that house when I was in Zredru the last time I was there, and they basically destroyed the glass and they throw stone in there. And another person has died. One guy, I believe his name is Jenkins Banks. His last name is Banks. It is believed that the bank guy hung himself. He committed suicide today. This bank guy was also accused of being part of those that killed Honorable Gwen through witchcraft. Shortly after the accusation, his body was found somewhere in the bush. Believed that he hung himself. So there are a lot of things playing in this back home. It's a sad situation. This man was an honorable man. I do not know what killed him. There hasn't been any release.
Yeah.
As to what killed him. But what we know is that he has been sick. So it's sad to see that people, instead of mourning him, are out there destroying properties. So I am against violence. Witchcraft and all those things are very complicated to prove. It's also believed that he was poisoned. So on the line of being poisoned, if medical reports show that this guy is poisoned, then maybe we have some reason to believe that. But all of what happenings are mere speculations, accusations that have led to the violence that was seen today in Zredru. Hopefully it has been put to calm. And I just want to encourage the young people, stay out of violence. The political tension right now, stay out of it. This man, we will get some medical results. He died in Ghana. We may say that, okay, if it's happening like Liberia, we may not get answers, but he may die in Ghana. He was in India. So there might be some medical results, that will come out. Medical reports that will come out. So let us wait for those reports instead of going out there destroying people's properties. Again, my condolences to the family, to Grand Juda, to Liberia large. It's a sad news. It's a sad news.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Cindy. Let's hear from you, Prince, and then we'll take Sharon and Francis.
Well, let me say, another show from the beginning was good. At the ending, with the sad news from our country, Liberia, from one of our counties, Zredru, and the Ramsani of Senator Zoe Penner, the death of the representative, and another person hanging himself. That's not a good sign. It's not a good sign at all. You know, when people with the most captain come out to speak for as spokesman to the police, to the country, it just looks like a joke. And it is a joke, I would say that. Because up to now, yet the 3 missing boys, after he said they will give information, up to now, we yet to know that information. Then you talk
No,
about
the police came up with their information. They said that the 3 boys died of drowning.
so why we ain't seen about it? That's it. That can do that one. That means that when I deal with people, yeah. Then what we talk about the magistrate that we're talking about here that disappeared. Since he disappeared, nobody has seen about it. He family not cry because there's no justice. Now the reason why when every time thing happens, we say, oh, let's just leave it. No penalty. When you penalize people for certain things, I will not go back to do it because I see the penalty that John Brown faced. That's the country we're living in right now. So the sentimental of the law is so diminishing to the extent that anybody can do anything they want to do. Because no governance, no rule of law in Liberia. You hear somebody be talking, then you get see the rush, they pick up bottle to starve you. Because no rules of law. So, anytime you see violence, you expect property loss. First, I would say my condolences to the honorable man that passed. He was a state man. I mean, his supporters were angry because they believe that something transpired. Big hands are in it. So the other man who just hanged himself, allegedly, knew that his caution was clear. Why he went to the bush and hang himself? If it was so, or he was told to be eliminated. Then we talk about Kaifari. You know, the person that put certain point in places to just have them there because they came from the kind of a war-torn zone and they had that need that with power. So you get them into the vanguard so that anytime things happen, they just go and destroy. It happened in the second round of the election when the helicopter picked them up from Zredu. And that it was coming about. But we tell God thank you with the help of the international community and ourselves, our Liberian people who stood there for what it believes in. Made it possible. It made it possible. The thing is that, you know, every time when you're in power, you got to understand that, hey, these people that I'm serving, one day I'll be out of here, I will come back down.
Okay.
For people that are Carlos Gray and Jordan Kochi, I'm not going to get them relevant. So I'm not even talking about the both of them. Because for 2005, we know who they are. But believe in me, with the newly government coming into being, August 23rd, I would say, because 22nd is swearing in. Believe in me, if you get on the street without any proper cause to think that you're bringing chaos to our people who have already suffered for 6 years, you will meet up resistance. I'll be real with you. You will meet up resistance. Anybody can call it how they want to call it, but we have rules and law in our country. Like we have too long.
January 22nd, Prince.
No, I'm saying the 22nd is inauguration. The next day,
yeah, January.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The 22nd. The next day is that's the time the Gabo Reyes thing. That's what I'm trying to say.
Thank you. Sharon, let's hear you, and then we take Francis, and then Maggie will take us home.
Firstly, I want to extend my condolences to the bereaved family and to the country Alash. It's a pity that every now and then we get to lose people. We get to lose our citizens, our brothers, our loved ones, our leaders. It's a pity. But like the saying goes, if you hold rope, rope hold butch. Um, these are some of the problems that occur when you leave situations, when you leave crisis unresolved, when you leave people in the dark without answering to their questions, without adhering to their plight. These are some of the situations that occur. We do not encourage violence. We don't want violence. That's the last thing we want in our society, especially for young people to be used to carry on the work of people in government and stuff. We do not want violence. But Nelson, if you look at the civil crisis that were fought and stuff, a lot of people whose lives were taken because of situations that were unresolved. They were taken because of crisis that they did not get to settle. Just because something went wrong between me and my neighbor and it did not go down well with me, or there was no intervention. When I had the opportunity to take gun, the first person I'm going for is my neighbor. So I'm just saying this to say that when you leave people plight thinking, when you pay less attention to the concerns of people, these are some of the situations that occur. If we have a system where the justice system is working, where the law is working, where issues will be looked into and people will get the result that they want, whether it's in their favor or against their favor, but the fact that there will be some level of mechanism put in place to look in those situations, I don't think we will have things like this occurring. And just because sometimes our plights are not listened to, our plights are not addressed, Liberians, we don't always have to take the law in our hands. We do not always have to take the law into our hands. Now we're hearing that another life went today because of that situation in Grand Gide. Who knows what next could happen? What other lives will go? There are so many lives that go to just because of one situation. You have so many other lives going. So it's a pity that this situation happened today, but also we all have to be careful how we go about venting our anger. Let's be civilized. Let's learn to be patient. Let's learn to be tolerant. I know it's hard when you are in pain, when you are in grief, when you want your question to be answered and no one is answering. But let's just try to exercise patience. And to our leaders, learn to listen to your people, learn to answer their questions, learn to look in issues that they are concerned about. The issue of that marriage rate, come on, that's another Liberian citizen like Joshua. That was another Liberian citizen that life was taken, and there was no findings as to what went wrong with him. His loved ones were left behind, crying, grieving, but there was just no justice. And to the issue of Joshua, we are not going to say like because it's Unity Party and Joshua was a citizen, so if he was killed by Unity Party partisans, it's right. Like it wouldn't be right if that was Queen Johnson that was beaten or if that was any other Unity Party partisan. But if we look at the law today, has the law been working in the interest of every Liberian? If you ask me, I would say no. The justice system has been very selective, and that is what we don't need in our system. We need a law to work for everybody. If the law is going to hold Queen Johnson today, if it was the other way around, we would have wanted the law to also hold whether it was CDC partisan, it was ALP partisan. That is what we want the law to do. But in the case where auditors were murdered and no justice given to the family, in the case where EPS officer was murdered, no justice, in the case of TD Mason men, the magistrate, and so many other Liberians, the case of Princess Copper, rape victims, if those people could not get justice, and today you are trying to make it seem, give Joshua justice because he is a Liberian like any other Liberian that you give justice to. Don't make it seem like you are trying to give Joshua justice on the basis of witch hunts, because those involved or those seen in the video are Unity Party partisans. We don't want a Liberia where the justice with no political party affiliation or where the justice will have blind eyes when it comes to a particular group of people, and the justice system eyes open wide when it comes to another group of people. We don't want that. Let the law be the law. Let let the justice system go through the investigation. If Queen Johnson and everyone else is guilty, if it is proven by medical record that that he died because of the incident, whether internal bleeding, which I find somehow difficult to the length of time that it took before his death, but you never know, things happen. Medical mistakes occur. The human body is a different thing. So, but give Joshua justice on the fight, that the justice is working for everybody, but not on the basis of trying to witch hunt Queen Johnson and others because they are Unity Party partisans.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Shira. Francis, let's hear you.
Yeah, I was just, I mean, we already addressed Joshua in the past, and our condolences go to his family. Our condolences to the family of the late representative from Grand Judah and the people of Grand Judah. But I'm just going to say, thank God this government is leaving, because they are a joke. This particular government is a joke. So anybody who sits there and try to take comfort because at the last minute you see most of the kind of sitting where they're stretching their eyes trying to use big words, unscrupulous, whatever the case may be, that's what all they do. They go open dictionary, memorize 2-3 words, come out and try to use it and beat that word down to death on the Liberian people so they can sound intelligent. But they are saying nothing, making a bunch of empty noise. They want to use this poor boy death, and do not give his family any peace, because the more we keep talking about it, the more it's in the news. His family will not have any peace until it's done. Everybody involved in his death, if it was a cause of anything, should be brought to justice. But they are a joke. For the last 6 years, they have not taken the security of the Liberian people seriously. They try to cherry pick what to do. What country in the world you have representatives running around like dogs? You have a superintendent going and disrupting an interview of another representative in a radio station. This is a banana republic. It's banana republic. So Liberian people should not be fooled. We're not saying Joseph Boakai coming with Captain America to be security in Liberia. But he has a task cut out for him. He has to focus on security, not just Montserrat, but the entire 15 counties of Liberia. You should be in Maryland, and when something is happening to you in Harper, the Harper Police Department should be there, fully funded and functioning to respond to your call. Now you're calling for police, but when you're in River G, you say, I'll just leave my own to God, because we ain't got no police. You in Montserrat, down the street, Camp Johnson Road, down the street for the executive mansion, you call, or even down for the police, National Police, you call, it will take them 2 weeks to get to you. They don't have cars. They don't have any equipment. The people are not safe. You see, so the country is just lawless, and they be joking with the Liberian people. They sit there trying to pull rabbit out of the hat, to doing something. Most of the country just sit there and be quiet. You just gotta be quiet and turn our kids over to the Justice Department. But don't come act like you're working now. You have 6 years to do that. You didn't do anything. You guys keep on there and split spiders to the Liberian people. Let Joshua rest in peace and investigate the people, but not on a partisan witch hunt situation. Let the boy family have some peace and closure and bring those in response for his death to justice. If not, shut up and let Joseph Boakai government take over and deal with the people. It doesn't matter if you're Unity Party, you should be dealt with according to the law. Thank you.
Thank you, Francis. And then finally, Maggie, you want to take us on?
Yes, it's good that today, because when I look at that video today, I felt so sad. It's good that today we start the topic of mental health. You see, when I talk about early intervention, it's very important. The magistrate that was missing, if the police have done their work from the initial stage, maybe things wouldn't have reached this level because as I heard, that's where everything started from when nursing was giving a narrative. That's where it started from. If that was going to be taken care of, maybe some of this we're going through, it was going to be limited. Now we started with the mental health. What happened in Zwedru today is huge, and it can go if we start to the police start to arrest the situation, it can escalate. And I'm afraid that it'll start moving to different parts of the country because that's how things start. You have to start from where it started from. It's a sad situation. My condolence to the family and the people of Liberia, and I hope and pray that our security, our police, the law enforcement we have in Liberia should start to do their work and not play partisan politics with the Liberian people.
Thank you.
Then we come down to I don't know what you showed me on the screen today, so I have to check. I mean, make my own research before I can actually speak about the representative. And my condolence to the representative. As you said, he started being sick way before the election. We also talk about that on the same show. People need to start to do yearly checkup. I have said it before even the election. We don't do our medical checkup. So when things happen, we blame witchcraft. I, for one, I don't know what they call witchcraft. Honestly, because I know when you start to do your medical checkup, you're going to reveal, your lab going to reveal a lot of stuff that you're going to start to address. And he went to China, well, India, Ghana, and other different places. Unless they can show a medical proof, like Cindy said, witchcraft is hard to prove. But if we see something toxic with poison, we can say yes. Maybe he was in a gathering and he got poison. Yes, we can start from there. Lastly, before I leave and I come to Joshua, I listen to Moses and it make no sense to me because we have lots of other people that is out there that need justice. We shouldn't be selective. Justice shouldn't be blind. I look at some CT scan that they posted online and other places. We need to have a clearer CT scan. The one I saw did not show any sign of a trauma. The one that was posted, it did not show me as a medical professional no sign of internal bleeding because I didn't see anything. And I even took that last CT scan that was posted online. I even showed it to other provider. And I even mentioned on that was only the brain that they were showing. We need a clearer picture. And they shouldn't start relating this to, yes, so to correct some people, yes, internal bleeding can go for long. It all depends on the type of internal bleeding. Internal bleeding has 3 stages. So yes, people can survive in your body structure and also or in age. It's a lot of stuff that go on into the body before people can come up with diagnosis. Your age, how healthy you were, it's a whole lot. So I will not rule internal bleeding out, but we just need to see more.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Maggie. I want to say thanks to you, Sharon. Thanks to you, Francis. Thanks to you, Cindy.
I'm about to kick us off, but just want to remind folks tomorrow I'll be.
I'm not kicking you guys off. We're about to shut down.
Yeah, I'll be giving our recess.
Good night.
People tomorrow, so 8 p.m. Liberia time.
Okay, yeah, recess. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so please join me tomorrow evening, Liberia time, 8 p.m., America time, 3 p.m. I'll be giving a recess. So for now, 15 people will be receiving recess or transportation. So call in, answer questions. I hope some of my folks from the late night show, I'll post the link in our chat room. You can join me
to as a panelist, but you guys will be
I
receiving.
mean, I come here as a
recess.
panel. I come here
I will call
for
ya.
a resale.
I will call for
That's
recess.
And you, Shara, I know you got eat like bro, so don't even laugh.
No, I eat like bro. I need recess on my birthday too, so I will call for my birthday and my recess. But thank you guys.
Yeah, on a serious note, folks, you can follow our.
That way you can adjust it so a lot of people can partake in it because 8 o'clock. You don't think that it's too late?
I know I will adjust the time going forward, but tomorrow I would just keep it to 3 o'clock American time, 8 o'clock Liberia time. Then down the line I'll probably adjust it to 6 p.m.
Liberia time. I'm sorry. I thought you meant 8 o'clock U.S. time. I'm sorry.
8 o'clock Liberia time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good night.
Thanks a lot, man. Thank you, Cindy. I mean, thanks to everyone.
Thank you, Francis. Thank
Happy
you.
pre-birthday to you again, Sharon.
Thank
We wish
you.
a great celebration as you get ready to celebrate another birthday. Somebody said you 45.
Oh yes.
Birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you, darling.
Someone said you're celebrating your 45th birthday.
Yeah.
Okay. So happy 45th birthday to
Happy birthday
I was
to
talking
you.
too early.
Happy birthday to you. Happy
birthday. Happy
birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Good night.
Awesome, man. Sending sport awesome.
Nelson.
Yeah.
When I'm
You said?
tomorrow.
When CEO
Yes,
get
time.
up, when CEO done.
I said tonight
Tonight I didn't have to work. That's why I joined you guys. I'd be like, someday I want to join. I'm like, I have to go to work.
Yeah.
But thank you guys. It was nice being here. Have a wonderful night. Okay, guys. Bye.
Okay. Well, folks, that's how I would like to draw down the curtains on this edition of the Late Night Show. Thanks to all of you out there for making up time to be here with us tonight. I'm Nelson Colette. Thanks to the team. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the show. Until then, have a good night. Thanks to Gibi FM for relaying this broadcast. We've been live on Spoon FM 107.5, Fabric 101.1, and Super 95.5 FM. Until we come your way again, have a good night. Bye-bye.